Acknowledge me, the one.
Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Oh, how I want to be with St. Kilda when the Saints go marching in.
Oh, when the Saints.
Oh, when the Saints go marching in.
Go marching in.
Oh, when the Saints
When the Saints go marching in.
oh, how I want to be with St.
With
Kilda
St. Kilda.
when the Saints
When the Saints go marching in. Acknowledge that. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Kick It to Scoops. I'm your host, Scoops, the sole admin of Scoops. The Saints got the W, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. Now, with a lot to talk about, gather round ended. Thank God that crap's over. Saints got the W. That's all that matters. Move on to the Crows this week. With a lot to talk about. Got my super coach team to go through, my team of the week, review the round just gone and upcoming, everything in between, and Scoops goes bang. So we'll start off with this. You want me on Cameo? Head to cameo.com/Cooper G. You want me to roast a friend, wish them a happy birthday, anything at all. Cameo.com/Cooper G. And it's in the QR code over there, the Cameo as well, if you want to purchase a Cameo. It's on the screen for you all now to see. Now, if you know any AFL, AFLW players or any state league players and you want to see them on the channel in a Goal King challenge and or interview, please do send me a message and we'll try and get something sorted and get it done. Now it's time for that world famous segment, Scoops Goes Bang. Wow. There's a lot of sooky Port Adelaide fans out there. A lot of St Kilda haters out there again. You know, the narrative is clear. When St Kilda win, it's because of the umpires, according to some. It's because the other team had players out. It's because you played a shit team, or we got lucky. That's always the narrative when St Kilda win. The narrative this year, when St Kilda lose, it's, oh, your team's shit, you're overpaying players, blah, blah, blah. Educate yourself and work. Learn to see how the salary cap works. But this week, it's, oh, we won only because of the umpires. That's what the uneducated Port Adelaide fan would say, or the uneducated St Kilda haters would say. I'm sorry that Alia kicked the ball to Mateus Filippo, who kicked a great goal with 9.5 minutes to go when it was 15 points. Sure, that's the umpire's fault, right? Jason Horne-Francis in the last quarter, under 5 minutes or so to go, when Jack Silvani got the sealer, kicked his first goal as the Saints. So well done, Jack. Because Horne-Francis doesn't know how to stand on the mark. Is that the umpire's fault as well? No. Stand means stand, okay? Educate yourself on the rule. You can hate the rule all you like, but the rule is that everyone knows stand means stand, not move off the mark, run away from the mark after you've been told to stand. That's on Horne-Francis. So quit whinging about that one. The Filippo one was a turnover by Alia. You can't blame the umpires for that one. 2 key goals in important stage of the game that they stuffed up themselves. So don't blame the umpiring for it. Now, another one that people bring up is when Naz got shoved after he kicked the ball and went through the behind, so went back to where he kicked it from. Otherwise, it would have been downfield. He got the goal from it because he was pushed after he kicked the ball. I was going to say while he kicked the ball, but after he kicked the ball. But it went back because it went through the points. You can't push a player after they dispose of the footy. It's clear as day. That's a free kick all day, every day. Whether you agree with it or not, it's irrelevant because that's the rule. The rules are the rules. And the other one, Jordan Sweet, pulled Mitch Owens' shirt. I mean, I know Port Adelaide people are clearly dumb and can't see well, but a little pull of the jumper like that, you're pulling the jumper or pulling the shirt. That's what happens. no matter how little of the jumper you pull, it's still a pull of the jumper. Again, it's a rule. You don't have to like the rule, but you can follow the rules. And Port Adelaide, all they could do yesterday was not follow the rules. So all those 4 examples that led to goals were all there in St Kilda's favour, and they were all the correct calls. Now, I had people saying that's the only reason why we won. So it had nothing to do with that, great job, St Kilda. You dominated the first quarter and set up the win right then and there. You controlled the second quarter, and the last quarter, you kicked all them goals when it mattered most. Not good job, no one's bragging about being Port Adelaide here. I mean, Port Adelaide are a shit team and will be a bottom 4 side thereabouts. At best, they'll be like 13th at best. But they're shit. So I'm not bragging about beating Port. I'm here to tell you that the umpiring did not change the result. If you think that, then you're an uneducated hypocrite. Because when there is actual games that umpires affect the result, like Adelaide and the Bulldogs and Adelaide and Geelong with the lasso thing that was overturned when the one earlier in that quarter wasn't, when I brought up the umpiring for those games, it was on whinging and that you're just saying it's Geelong and this and that. So, if that's what you got to say for me, where that was actually rigged, the legs weren't taken out of Michael Selwood, the lasso goal that Tom Atkins or whoever got that goal for Geelong in that game from a Jack Martin, that was robbed. The Crows were robbed right in front of me 2 weeks in a row. And there was some Fremantle game against Adelaide where they were robbed a little bit as well. But I've just proven to you all that St Kilda were not handed anything. St Kilda played 3 strong quarters, and that set up the win. The first and last quarter in particular. The third quarter was in Port's favour in terms of the way they were playing. Now, St Kilda had only 38 inside 50s, and we had 21 scoring shots. So we scored over 50% of our entries in the forward 50. Maybe think, gee, Port Adelaide, you defended shit that we had scored over 50% of our entries. Maybe think of that. And then you want to bring up all the inside 50s that Port Adelaide had. Maybe think, gee, Jack Silvani and Cal Wilkie just dominated the Port Adelaide forwards and controlled the back line. Jack Sinclair, Jack Carroll even played all right. So maybe give St Kilda credit and stop making excuses and blaming the umpiring. Yeah, I'll blame umpiring when it's necessary, but it wasn't in this game. Maybe have a go with Zach Butters and Ollie Wines, and all they could do all night was complain to the umpires and abuse them for no reason. You lost because you're not good enough. Simple. Port Adelaide are shit in the men's. They are absolutely shit. There is nothing else you can say about the umpiring. No matter how you want to twist it, you're just not going to win. Just like Port Adelaide, you're not going to win. Josh Carr said it wasn't because of the umpiring. So maybe Port Adelaide fans need to stop wasting Kleenex tissue boxes and actually grow a brain and realise that you weren't robbed. You lost because you're shit. Blame Alia for kicking the ball to Mateus Filippo. Blame Horn Francis for not standing the mark, which led to the Silvani goal in his first as a Saint. Maybe blame those individual moments in the game when you thought you were a chance and you blew it yourself. You're no one to blame but yourself. Simple as that. If it wasn't for Butters and Georgiades, your team would never win a game this year. And obviously Rosie as well. That's it. Every other Port Adelaide player on that list is absolutely shit or not that good enough to impact a game. Simple as that. So, to the St Kilda haters sucked in, you want to cry and moan about, that we won. It's typical St Kilda haters. I just laugh at all of you now. I really do laugh at you all. Because no matter the Saints result, whether it's a win, lose, or draw, you're always having to dig at us. And you're very, 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 very salty when we win. And you're always going to make excuses and say, oh, you just scraped over the line, or, oh, it was only because of the umpires why you won. Oh, that team had injuries, blah, blah, blah. I've heard it all before. And quite frankly, I don't care. We've got the job done. That's all that bloody matters. We go play a much better side this week in Adelaide, who have been robbed a few times. So hopefully they don't get the rub of the green this time, because they haven't got it the last three against Freo, Bulldogs and Geelong. They got the win against Carlton. That's great. Who was missing for them? Mitch Hinge. That's right. He's going to be out this week, so it's not good for them. But, yeah, to the St Kilda haters and the Port Adelaide Sooks, stop buying bulk of tissues, because that's all they were doing last night. Port Adelaide fans are going to be some of the worst fan base. They're uneducated. They got zero brain cells. And all I heard them saying, they were robbed right in front of me and all this crap. No, you weren't robbed. And no, the narrative would not be different if St Kilda had it the other way around, because Port Adelaide turned the ball over, which resulted in goals. Hugo Garcia bursting out of the middle, kicking a goal, had nothing to do with umpiring. Silvani getting a 50 from Horn Francis, not knowing what stand means, is no one else's fault but the Port Adelaide individuals in those plays. You know, there were some clips going around on social media by some people that showed some of the Saints' ways of their getting the goals and the clearance battle and everything like that. St Kilda dominated when it mattered, and Port Adelaide fumbled the ball. Simple as that. They screwed it up, so you got no one to blame but yourself. Port Adelaide fans are just crying. They're just crying. And it's pretty funny, actually, because I don't care what they think. They weren't robbed. They're just a fan base that knows their team sucks, and whenever there's umpiring decisions that they feel is against them, they'll blame that for the loss because they don't want to talk about the deep problem that their team is in a rebuilding stage and they're a banter club and they've got it full of Sanafel hacks. Pretty simple. They're uneducated, because if they were educated, they would know they weren't robbed. And clearly they're uneducated because clearly they think they were robbed and they've got no idea and got zero ball knowledge. As for that St Kilda haters, I just laugh at you. I really do. Your opinion means nothing. Simply nothing. Absolutely zero. You have zero say in anything. You don't know what you're talking about. You just clout chasers. You clickbait trolls, and really no one cares what you think. We didn't win the game because of umpiring. We won the game because we kicked goals and earned all our goals. There was Port Adelaide players ducking for free kicks, and they got free kicks from it. I don't see them complaining about that. Liam Ryan got his head taken off twice, by the way. The only ones I don't like is when you duck into someone standing still and you run into someone's gut. But Port Adelaide did the same thing and got free kicks for it, which resulted in a goal as well. But here we are. I don't like that. You can't take someone's head off, whether they duck or not. You can't put your hand around their neck like that trying to tackle someone. If you're standing still and they run into your gut like a rugby-style play, then they shouldn't be free kicks. But there was none of them like that. So quit crying. And if there was one, Port Adelaide got one as well. So, as Liv Morgan would say, if you don't like it, go cry about it. Simple as that. Yeah. Hope you all enjoyed that edition of the world-famous segment, Scoops Goes Bang! So my Supercoach score was 2,167. I'm now in the top 23%. I've gone up 5% in the rankings, which I'm really, really happy with. You know, the bulk of my team did pretty good, except for my captain. So we'll go through all that right now. So in my team, I had Jack Sinclair get 82. Not the greatest, but whatever. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. Nasiah Wangani Malira got 136. Great work. Josh Waller got 68. Not good enough, but he had 25 disposals, so he was robbed of some points. Jai Sarong was solid for 75. Lockie Jackson player did the loophole. Farrow was on the bench and Sam Grill was on the field. I've made a few adjustments and then I haven't done my team properly yet. But But Farrow was on my emergency bench. So Lockie Jarks was on, and Lindsay was on the bench as well. So that's what happened there. So yeah, that was that. Yeah, Sam Grill got 59. So that's a bit of whatever. Zach Butters 145 was amazing. And then these three I was really not happy with. N Dacos got 94 points, was my loophole captain, so I didn't take that 94, obviously. He had 31 disposals, had like 6 clearances, so he actually got robbed of some points. He should have got about 115, 120. And I might have taken that, and it would have been good in the end if that was the case. Because Marcus B, the hack, got 84. The only reason I put the captaincy on him is because he gets handed points. He actually shouldn't even have got 84 points. He gets handed so many points. That was the only reason I brought him in, because he gets handed points and that everyone else was doing it, so I didn't want to fall behind, especially when he gets gifted points every single week. If this was any other player, he would have got far less than 84. He would have probably got 60, if that. Butters was really good for his Supercoach score, 145. As I said, Noah Anderson was shit with 72. Really considering getting rid of him. Locke Neal, shown why he was a great selection, got 132. Willem Dersma. Now, I missed his first price increase, but I've had the last two. And I'm getting the rewards of bringing him in at like 270. 105, he was amazing. Jagger Smith, 53. Milan Murdoch was a loophole to get Tom Blamey's 79. Jagger Smith, I'm really considering pissing off out of my team as well. His break-even is like 30-something. So unless he pulls out 100, he's not going to go up much anymore. He's at 293 at the moment. Jack Carroll was really good with 76 and went up a bit and should play again this week for sure. He had 19 disposals or so. Jack Watkins was absolutely dreadful and should never play AFL again and should be playing suburban footy next year. Milan Murdoch, as I said, was the loophole, who is a chance to be back this week. Brody Grundy and Luke Jackson continued to do well for my Supercoach team. 124 for Brody Grundy, should have got like 150. Luke Jackson, 125 was great. Lockie Gantrew, 83 on the bench, making a lot of money. I think his break-even's in the minus as well. So he's 313 at the moment. Harry Sheasel was great, 127. Zach Bailey, who I brought in for 130, was amazing. I took Tanner Bruin out. I don't care that Tanner Bruin got 115. Zach Bailey got 130 and went up about 40K and is now 510. And if I didn't do that move now, it would have been too expensive. And yep, Sam Flanders, 88, that's good. Dev Robertson, 85 was great considering he played 3 quarters. Played hardly any minutes in the first quarter as well, played like half the quarter, and played basically none of the last, except for the first few minutes when he hurt his knee. I don't know as of this recording how long he's out for, so hopefully it's only under 2 weeks and I'll just put him on the bench. A lot of dual position players are now coming out as well, so look out for that. Mateus Filippo got 69, got absolutely robbed. He should have got like 90 points, kicked 2 goals, 3, like six score involvements. So he got robbed of a lot of points. So not happy that he got robbed of points. Should have got like 90 at least. Todd Marshall was shit and got 48. Leo Lombard got 49. Filippo was in my flex position during the round. But overall, I'm pretty happy. The ones I'm not happy with are my premiums, and I'm really happy with the rookies. If you go back to my team, yeah, look, Marcus B, Noah Anderson, absolutely shit. Jagger Smith was shit. And as I just said, Lombard's 49 is a bit of whatever. But yeah, it's frustrating, but that's what it is. So I got 2,167. Had the captain actually done something, I would have got 2,250 or maybe 2,300 as well. So 80 more points. Yeah, I would have actually got 2,300 if he got 80 more points. If he got like 160, but he's not that good. So here's what it is. So yeah, that's my Supercoach team. So how did you go? I have a new leader too in my Scoops Fan Club League. For that Supercoach code for you all to join is 267549 if you want to join my Scoops Fan Club Supercoach code. It's a really tight top 5 in my fan club league at the moment. So if you're in there, good job. Hopefully you can maintain your spot in there. And yeah, we'll see how we go. Going up 5% in the rankings though, I'm really happy to top 23%. Hopefully we can build on that. No more buy round bullshit, split round crap, none of that. will happen anymore this year until the mid-season bullshit. So I'm pretty happy with how I went in the end. So, yep. All right, now it's time to go through my scoops. Round 5, AFL Team of the Week. From the back line, the pockets, Callum Wilkie and Jaden Laverde. Full back for the first time in a very long time, Ben Mackay. Half back line, the flankers, Archie Roberts and Jeremy Howe. Centre half back, Jack Silvani. Wingers, Nasiah, Wanganeen Malira and Darcy Parish. Centreman, Jai Newcomb. Half forward line, the flankers, Job Shanahan and Zach Bailey. Centre half forward, Aaron Cadman. Forward pockets, Tom Papley and Isaac Kako. Full forward, great game, Mitch Lewis. Ruck, Brody Grundy. Rovers, Josh Rochelle, what the helly, and Isaac Heaney. Interchange, Hugo Garcia, Zach Merritt, Lockie Neal, Finn Callahan, and Matt Rowell. The emergencies, Billy Frampton, Elijah Sardis, Sam Berry, and Brent Daniels. Now, reasons for these selections, we'll put it on the screen right now for you all to see. So, reasons for these selections. So, Callum Wilkie had like 25 disposals, 15 marks, like 7 intercept possessions. I don't need to say any more. Ben Mackay, the game of his life, the best game he's played as a bomber, 23 disposals, like 15 marks, plenty of intercept possessions and 1%ers. He was great. Jalen Laverde, his best game as a Giant in his 150th game as well, more like it, sorry. He was great. 23 disposals, like 9 intercept possessions and 1%ers was around the same as well. So he did really well. Now, Archie Roberts was probably the player of the round. 1 goal, 42 disposals. He's not just a stat patter. He actually earns his ball. He's a great ball user like Jacob Farrow is. So the Bombers have got some good distributors off half back for the future. Archie Roberts will probably play more midfield going down the line, but they were great. Jack Silvani, important goal, an important stage of the game, did really well. A goal, 19 disposals, 12 intercept possessions, 9 1%ers. Jack Silvani's been a great recruit. And the St Kilda recruiter haters of the recruits we picked up, gee, you're very quiet again. Jeremy Howe, how he does it, I don't know. He absolutely was so vital in the Pies being so close against the Dockers in Adelaide. He had like 10 intercept possessions or something like that, or 1%ers combined at least. He was really impactful. And at 36 years of age, which can't believe he's 36, he's doing really well with Jeremy Howe. How he does it, we'll never know. Nasiah, the Messiah, 2 goals, 29 disposals, plenty of clearances. I think 4 centre clearances as well. So Naz was on fire, 2 important goals, an impactful game. It probably wasn't his 100% best game, but just shows how damn talented he is. He's still got 2 and 29 and 7 clearances and 4 of those centre clearances. So Naz was really good. Jai Newcomb, now he didn't reach 30 disposals. He had a goal in 26. A lot of contested possessions. I think it was 12 clearances. Jai Newcomb was easily best on ground in Hawthorn's big win over the Bulldogs. Darcy Parish, 34 disposals at high efficiency. He was well over 80%. 3 goal assists and 13 score involvements and like 7 or 9 clearances. I mean, absolutely deserves this Darcy Parish. He's been in shit form all year, but this week against Melbourne, he was awesome in Melbourne, and the Bulldogs got their reality checks. Job Shanahan kicked 4 for the Eagles, was good. Aaron Cameron the same, 3 early. Zach Bailey kicked 2 and 21. He was really impactful with like 2 goal assists and like 7 score involvements. Tom Papley was really good with his 3 goals and multiple amount of score involvements and possessions. Mitchell Lewis, the best game of his career, I would say, with 4 goals and 18 disposals. Isaac Kako, 2 goals and about 16 disposals, was really impactful. Brody Grundy, easily without a shadow of a doubt, the best ruckman this year. A goal, 28 disposals, like 13 score involvements and about 7 or 9 clearances. He was just simply amazing. Josh Rochelle, what the hell? 4 goals, 24 disposals, or 26 disposals might have been. He was really impactful. His score involvements and goal assists. Adelaide were great when he was on, and Carlton had no answers after quarter time, realistically. Isaac Heaney was really good, had a goal in 33, bunch of score involvements and clearances as well. Isaac Heaney back to his best form, back from his injury. Hugo Garcia for the Saints, a goal in 26. He has these games, Hugo, where he's on and really on. You know, a goal in 26, about 7 clearances, that long-range goal from 50. You know, for a guy that was a late draft pick, and probably much wasn't expected, he's really, really showing what a great selection he was for the Saints. Some of our later selections have sometimes been better than our first-round selection, which isn't necessarily a good thing, but it's also a good thing, though, that they're late player pick recruiting players, the late pick players that we're recruiting and SSPs and, you know, rookie selections and everything like that. We're doing really well in that. Should be nailing, though, a lot of these first rounders. But he was really good. Really, really good. Zach Merritt, a goal in 31. He was a key part in why the Demons had no answer for the Bombers, and the Bombers broke. The streak is over. Lockie Neal was great with a goal and like 30-odd touches. He was really impactful for the Lions' win over the Roos. Finn Callahan, 37 disposals, bunch of clearances, over 600 metres gained. He was really good. Matt Rowell was the Suns' best player with 32 disposals, bunch of contested possessions and clearances like only Matt Rowell can. He didn't have really much help from Noah Anderson, who was tagged out by James Jordan, and Tuke Miller as well. Billy Frampton was really stiff not to make this team, but if you look at all those tall defenders, Mackay, Silvani, Laverde, Wilkie, and even Jeremy Howe, it was hard to put him in ahead of them, but he was really good. He kept Josh Tracy goalless, who some people think is good, which just shows he's not if Billy Frampton's keeping him goalless. Elijah Sardis, a goal in 29, first game in over a year or two, shown Brad Scott why he should have been in from the start. A former number 1 pick as well. Former first-round pick, not number 1 pick as well. Sam Berry, I would like to give a lot of credit to Sam Berry. I was really going to put him in this team, but it would have been at the expense of Matt Rowell, so I couldn't do that. But Sam Berry was amazing. Well, I mean, I could have done it. He hit a goal in 29 disposals, a goal in 29. A lot of clearances, contested positions, and score involvements. And Sam Berry is in the form of his life at the moment at the Crows. You know, in and out of that side for years, cemented a spot now in their midfield and their starting midfield, along with Rankin when he plays in there, obviously Dawson as well. Ben Keys pushes in there a little bit, but not as much anymore. Rochelli's now pushing in there a bit more and doing well himself. So Berry, Dawson, and Rochelli is a better combination for the Crows at the moment, I feel. So well done to Sam Berry. And Brent Daniels, back from injury, kicked 3 goals. His first game this year. So comment down below what your thoughts are on my Scoops AFL team of the week. All right, so now let's go review the round 5 game, shall we? Let's go and do that. So, all right, so Adelaide Carlton was the first game we're going to go through on Thursday night. Where is it? 114 to Carlton 86. You know, 28 points to the Crows. They weren't disgraced, Carlton. They were really good in the first quarter. But then patches in that game, they just didn't look on, and Adelaide just were on. Rochelli, 4 goals, 26. They had no answers for Josh Rochelli. What the hell? Sam Berry was really good and had a great season so far. You know, Rankin kicked 2 and 22. They just didn't have any answers for their midfielders that kicked goals, and that's something that's really important when you've got midfielders that can kick goals like Rochelli's doing. I know he's mainly been a forward, but been playing a lot more midfield. Same with Rankin as well. Sam Walsh was all right, but didn't impact as much at times. Patrick Cripps was all right, but again, look, they started all right. This is probably Carlton's best game all year, which isn't a good thing because they lost by 28 points. But they started really well, so they should be happy with how they went to a degree, but not happy that they couldn't get the job done and not play 4 quarters. Collingwood 39, Fremantle 45, the Dockers by 6 points. This was the worst game all year. Now, conditions did not help, but it's funny, the media weren't really bagging this game, saying how poorly skilled it was and everything like that. If this was a St Kilda game or a side that's in the bottom part of the ladder, people would be saying, shit, how the hell does this get prime time? Now, people want to have a go at St Kilda for being defensive. Fremantle are just as defensive as St Kilda. Freo are just as defensive as St Kilda are. So, why are you not bagging this game? Now, people were having to go at Collingwood going, oh, they're too defensive, blah, blah, blah. It's not going to win you games of footy. Well, if Lockie Schultz could kick straight, the Pies win. Freo just got lucky that Schultz, a former Docker, could not kick straight. 3 easy goals from close range. I think there was another Collingwood player at the start of the last quarter that missed an easy shot. A goal. It might have been McStay. You know, Pies execute their behinds, they win the game. Dacos was really good. That's N. Dacos. Josh was okay as well, I guess. Angus Anderson on debut. How great. A goal and 16. He should have been in from the start. He was in my Supercoach preseason, so he should have earned a spot in the team, or should have got a spot in the team round 1 against the Saints, or opening round, whatever. He didn't, and he proved to Craig McRae why he should have been in from round 0, or opening round, whatever shit you want to call it. He'll be in again. He added a different dynamic to their midfield. Now, Jordan De Goey started really well, but he'll miss this week against Carlton due to concussion, so we wish Jordan all the best and everyone that's copped an injury this week. Tim Membry started really well again, but in the end, the Pies couldn't get the job done, unfortunately. Now, people carrying on, but Josh Tracy's mark. He took a mark in front of his own teammate, Luke Ryan, who was their best player probably with Sarong. So it's like, calm down. It ain't Leo Barry-esque, like people are saying. Calm the hell down. It's nothing like it. That's actually disrespectful to Leo Barry, you star. So calm down. Josh Tracy was shit, was well held by Billy Frampton, who isn't that good, but played really well on him. Jeremy Howe and Braden Maynard were dominant in the Pies backline as well. So it is what it is there. But the Dockers got the job done, so good on them, and see how they go this week against the Eagles. So the next game on Saturday that we'll go through was North Melbourne 66, Brisbane 92, Brisbane by 26. Look, this was one of those games where Brisbane were doing what they did to St Kilda to North. North Melbourne were in it for 3 quarters. It was sometimes better. St Kilda were better against Brisbane than what North were, but North maintained that level where they were within arm's length of winning that. The last 15 minutes or so in the last quarter, like they did to St Kilda, they just went bang, 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 and just made the margin look worse. Oscar Allen was really good for the Lions, along with Zach Bailey and Lachie Neale. Jesper Fletcher and Will Ashcroft play their part as well. North Melbourne, it was LDU, it was Harry Sheasel, who gets disrespected by a lot of people online, and people should stop that. He's a very good player, had like 6 or 7 clearances as well. But yeah, look, North Melbourne, they weren't disgraced. I thought they were all right. But Brisbane got the job done when it mattered the most. Sam Draper finally got that goal for the Brisbane Lions, so good on him. Essendon 113 smashed the Demons 45 points. Well, where do I begin? I will say congratulations to the Bombers. Their 17-game losing streak is over. Well, it was 16, potentially going to be 17. This game just showed why you don't celebrate grand finals in March or April. Melbourne got an absolute reality check that they needed. Their fan base are insane. Last week they beat Gold Coast. That was their grand final victory. Melbourne aren't playing finals. They carried on like they won the granny last week. It was a great win against the Suns, and I credited them on this program. Okay? But this week, they had no answers for the Bombers. They walked into this game thinking they're going to roll over and smash them. Well, they got smashed. And what I'd be concerned the most about as a Melbourne fan would be this. If I was, which I'm not clearly, but if I was, I'd be concerned of how easy Tom Edwards, Zach Merritt, Isaac Kako, everyone like that, Elijah Sardis just went bang, 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 kicking goal after goal in that third quarter. That was alarming for Melbourne. Stephen King should be addressing that third quarter and fourth quarter. When the going got tough, Melbourne, Max Gawn, everyone at Melbourne, Jack Steele missed an easy shot in front of goal. Melbourne had no answers. Where were they when the going got tough? They played Essendon. They got destroyed. Destroyed, the Demons were. Destroyed by the bloody Bombers, the team that had lost 16 games in a row. Melbourne thought they were prime Brisbane Lions of the last 2 years before this week. And they just showed that they are just Melbourne, a team that is just simply not that good. Essendon fans, enjoy it. I saw this coming last week against the Bulldogs. If it wasn't for that first quarter, you beat the Bulldogs after quarter time. I saw this result coming. I was actually close to tipping Essendon, but I thought, well, Melbourne beat Gold Coast. I'll play it safe. The Bombers destroyed the Demons after halftime in particular. They were good in the first half as well, but they absolutely obliterated them in the second half. Tom Edwards, back from an ACL injury, back-to-back weeks, kicking 2 or 3 goals each. Archie May kicked a couple of goals. He looked good. Isaac Kako looked good. Peter Wright in the ruck looked good. Ben Mackay, Archie Roberts, Jacob Farrow, his elite disposal of half-back, his composure and everything like that was really, really on song. Ben Mackay played the game of his life. Jay Gresham popped up for an important goal in that third and fourth quarter. It's like they all clicked. Elijah Sardis, why hasn't he been getting a game for 2 years? Darcy Parish, where the hell's this been, Darce? You were on fire. Zach Merritt continued to be Zach Merritt at his best. He was terrible against the Bulldogs, whoever the hell that was, where he got 10 disposals and was tagged out of the game. This week, he had a fire under his belly to go, nah, screw you all. All those names I just mentioned and some others were simply amazing for the Bombers. Melbourne, I know you can't rely on Gawn every week, but where was Max Gawn in that second half? Where was Steele, the guy that everyone's been saying is the recruit of the year? The recruit of the year would kick a goal from 15 metres out directly in front. You know who's been recruit of the year? He's not a Melbourne player, that's for sure. So, calm down. Melbourne was sent a reality check. The Bombers fans, get up and about. Enjoy it. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Essendon, so I'll give credit where credit's due. Melbourne, you are simply shit. And just shows you don't win premierships in April. Brisbane will be a chance to win the granny again. They haven't had the greatest of starts. They've had injuries as well, but they haven't had the greatest of starts. Sydney and Gold Coast. I'm not writing off the Suns unlike some people. I don't know why. They've still got no Petrarca at the moment. Ballard's only just coming back from injury. So they'll gel soon again. They played some strong sides lately, not Melbourne, but Sydney. And they played another strong side, I think, at the start of the year as well. So, it's okay. It's not panic stations for the Suns. Swans by 32 points at Norwood, 100 to 68. Grundy, Heaney, Tapley, amazing. They'll get Sheldrick back this week. Malcolm Roses, what a great goal he got against his old mob. But he's been a great recruit for the Swans. Got him for nothing, 3-year deal. Laughed at the time, some people, but it's paying dividends. He is Malcolm Roses, kicking a few goals a game, about 10 disposals, and sometimes a bit more than that. A lot of impact. So what under Malcolm Roses and the Suns, and the Swans. But it was Rowell who tried his ass off. James Jordan did well to tag out Noah Anderson. I'm not happy about that. Why couldn't you tag Rowell, James? Out. Dean Cox got to be credited with the matchups he done. Mac Andrew in the ruck looked all right at times, but Jared Witts is your number one ruck. You got to keep him there because Jared Witts can't play as a forward, and you're not leaving him out of the team. You're not playing him 50% game time. You have Burst and Mac Andrews as the ruck as the second ruck. Leave Ethan Reid or whoever, Jed Walter, in the forward line. Jed Walter had his moments as well. But look, it is what it is. Good work from the Swans. They were on song, and they're onwards to victory. It's in their song. Hawthorn 104, the Western Bulldogs 64. Hawthorn by 40 points. Gee, I'm no fan of Hawthorn, but they were really good on the weekend, and Bulldogs were shown a reality check that they're just simply not that good. Now, you're never going to go undefeated in the season, but that's what Bulldogs fans are saying. It's a cop-out excuse. We had to lose one eventually. No. You've got to show you can beat these type of teams that are around you on the ladder, or teams you think you're around the ladder. Look how the Bulldogs go against Brisbane. They were kissed on the ass for free kicks, and they only won that game because Zorko didn't get that 50-metre penalty, and Brisbane had half the team out. Lucky. You play a fully strength Brisbane, they lose that game. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Zorgo gets that 50-metre penalty that he should have got. He'll kick that goal from 30 directly in front. They win the game. See how they go against Gold Coast and Brisbane's and Sydney's and Hawthorns and everyone like that around that part of the ladder. And they just don't compete. Geelong, they've had close games with as well. So, against the better teams, they don't stack it up. They beat on the bottom and mediocre middle tier teams. Okay, that's all they do. The Bulldogs are flat track bullies, and they were shit. And Hawthorn destroyed them. John Newcomb, amazing. Jack Ginnivan had his good game as well. Mitch Lewis was simply amazing. He's in the votes for sure, Mitch Lewis, along with John Newcomb. The Hawthorn side just had all the answers, and Connor McDonald played his part as well. And simply, they had no answers from the Bulldogs, and Marcus B was absolutely shit. And this game proved to me, well, I already said this before the game. Look at Richmond. No Toby Nankervis. Their ruck is deplorable. Oliver Hayes-Brown, a Category B basketballer who got beaten up by Mr. Madden, who has hardly played a game at the Giants, and is a rookie ruck as well. The Bulldogs played a debutant, Louis Emmett. Why did the Bulldogs not go into this game playing Rory Lobb in the ruck? Now, Rory Lobb has been all right as a key defender, but put some experienced, mature-age bodies against Lloyd Meek and Ned Reeves. Louis Emmett and Jordan Croft was never going to work. Anyone with a brain would have known that Reeves and Meek were going to dominate the clearance battle and the hit-outs and everything like that, and they did, and that's what won them the game. The Bulldogs should have played Rory Lobb in the ruck and Jed Buslinger as a key defender this game. Simple. That was a simple thing. Oh, but hang on, no, you wouldn't have had to do even that. Had you actually have a ruckman on your list that is not 18 or 19, and Louis Emmett is a forward ruck, a backup ruck. Jordan Croft is a forward and a backup ruck, if that. This ain't no one else's fault but yourself, Bulldogs, for not recruiting actual ruckman as your backup. You could have had Tom Campbell. You had him at one point. You had Jordan Sweet. He's a Sanafel hack, Jordan Sweet, but he's a ruck at least, and he's a mature age body. You need to play him for 1 or 2 weeks, whatever. But like Richmond, you've got no second pure ruckman on your list besides Nankervis and Tim English, and it's come back to backfire on you. That's why you aren't a good side, because you're too focused on recruiting 100,000 midfielders and key forwards and don't want to actually look at the holes you got in the ruck as depth and in your whole tall backline players. O'Donnell, shit. Ryan Gardner, shit. Rory Lobb's not that good anyway. I know I just said he's done okay, but that's all he's done. Okay, which is still not good enough. And other key defenders they've used are all shit. So that's on their recruiting. So maybe not focus on key forwards and midfielders and actually focus on the areas you're actually shit in. You lost this game because you're not that good. You thought you're better than you were, and the Hawks said, not on my watch, pal. You're not that good. Simple as that. At the end of the day, that's why you lost. Now, the next game to go through on Sunday, I think we're up to. Geelong and West Coast, 122-76, 46 points. Geelong won by. West Coast were in it for the first half. It kind of was expected. The Eagles weren't expected to win this game. It was disappointing that they couldn't play 4 quarters. Job Shanahan played really well. Jack Graham was playing with an injured arm. Harley Reid had a good game. I think he kicked a goal or 2 with 22 touches. He played well. I thought Dev Robinson, before he got injured, played really well. Josh Lindsay's ball use and composure was really good as well. Tyler Young should not be playing AFL. He was no good at Richmond. When Harry Edwards is back from his concussion, Harry Edwards should easily be replacing Tyler Young. You got Rhett Bazzo, who should be getting a game over Tyler Young. This is the second week in a row, or something along those lines this year, that Tyler Young has been beaten and has been shit. I don't know why they wanted him to begin with. He's not even good. But at least he's a key defender, something that the Bulldogs don't have. So, here's what it is there. But yeah, Geelong got the job done. Tanner Bruin was probably Geelong's best player. Tom Atkins actually got a kick this week. Tom Short was well held. Job Shanahan, what a star he's going to be. I said this at the draft time. He was one of the best key forwards in that draft. He went in picking the 30s. The steal of the draft was Job Shanahan. I said at the time, so Scoops has footy ball knowledge. I know what plays will be good for your club. Put me on the recruiting team. But Geelong got the job done in the second half in particular. GWS 131, Richmond 75, 56 points. Richmond was shit in the first quarter. It was like 8 goals to 2, and that set the tone. Simple as that, really. Richmond fought hard, so credit to them. Taranto, McKelty Lafau kicked 4 goals. Liam Fawcett kicked 3 goals. So they had moments and glimpses. Sam Lawler was all right as well. Early in his career, I said he wasn't that great, but I'm happy to say when I'm wrong, and I think he'll be a solid player for Richmond. He's a bit of that player that reminds me of Jordan De Goey with the type of style of play that he plays, like, that mid-forward power, just go forward, kick a few goals a game, some strong contested marks, and burst out of the midfield. I got that one wrong. I never said he was shit. I just didn't think he was as good as people thought he was. But I think this year he's proving to show how good he can be. So there you go. They fought hard, but then the Giants went bang, 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 bang. Late in that third, I think it was. Got to like 36, 38 points at 3/4 time, and the damage was done again from there. But the Giants, they did what they had to do. But they wouldn't have liked Richmond coming back so easily. St Kilda, 81. Port Adelaide, 67. Saints by 14 points. Port fans are a bunch of sooks. The Kleenex tissues would have been in overdrive last night. I heard all the South Australian sooks that go for Port Adelaide, they were at the game and at home, had to leave their house or had to leave the Adelaide Oval, go into their local Coles or Safeway or whatever, Woolworths, Aldi's or whatever, or even the chemist or bloody news agency or whatever, and they had to go buy their Kleenex tissues. I heard the stock was sold out pretty quickly in Alberton, especially. The overdrive of tissues being bought, it was like it was 2020 all over again. They all sold out because that's all they've been doing all last night and today. It's been sulking and using so many tissues. So keep crying, Port fans, you lost. Because the first quarter and the last quarter and the second quarter, the Saints controlled the games. The Saints dominated in the first quarter and the last quarter and got it done when it mattered. Second quarter, it was relatively in our favour, just. Third quarter was in Port's favour, but I went through everything earlier with the goals that we earned and everything like that, and people need to learn the rules and educate themselves. As for individual players, I thought, Sam Flanders started really strong. Hugo Garcia was really good. Well under Higo on his 150th game. Proud of you, mate. Liam Ryan got some nice goals early. Jack Carroll was really good. Jack Silvani, amazing. A goal in 19, 12 intercept possessions, 8 1%ers or 9 1%ers. He was awesome in that big moment goal. Mateus Filippo, 2 goals, 16 disposals, like 7 score involvements, a couple of clearances as well. Mateus showing how good he'll be for the future and is already shown in 49 games. He's 50th this week, so well done, Mateus. Happy for you, mate. All aboard the Filippo train as we play the Crows in his home state again in Adelaide. While we're playing back-to-back games in Adelaide, I can't believe it. But it's what it is. The Saints did the job. Wilkie, Silvani, Garcia, Filippo, etc. were all really good in for Port Adelaide. When Zach Butters wasn't sulking at the umpires, he was probably their best player as well. And Mitch Georgiades was okay, but Wilkie really destroyed him. So kicked 2 goals. Georgiades was fine, but he didn't have the impactful games he's had this year. So, and everyone else at Port Adelaide was shit, and Jack Watkins should never be playing AFL again. And how some of those players get a game just shows how shit Port are, and their depth is terrible. One of the journos said that in their press conference, and Josh Carr thought they had good depth in their side. No, you don't. If you had good depth, you wouldn't have some SANFL hacks running around in your team. You've got 3 SANFL hack ruckmen, Josh. Your recruiting this year was shit. Jacob Ware did nothing. Will Brody can't get a game, your favourite player. Who are the other hacks they picked up? Corey Durden. Carlton got rid of him for a reason. And there was another player I think they picked up. Lukosius was the year before. He's hot and cold. So, yeah. He was paid around $1 million too, since everyone wants to bring up salary cap. So, yeah. Anyway, let's preview the round 6 game, shall we? To wrap us up. Finally, a normal round that there's no bye rounds and we're not all in South Australia. So the first game we go through on Thursday night is Carlton and Collingwood at the MCG, 7:30 Victorian time. I'll be tipping Collingwood in this one by 27 points. Friday night at GMHBA Stadium, aka Shaver Stadium, 7:20 Victorian time. It's Geelong and the Bulldogs. I'll be tipping the Bulldogs in this one by 1 point. Interestingly enough, we've got other games in this round that are being played on a Friday night, which is a bit bizarre, to be honest. I don't know why they're doing this, but they are. So Friday night at the SCG 7:50 Victorian time, it's the Swans and the Giants. I'll be tipping the Swans in this one by 12 points. Saturday, 1:15 p.m. at Heritage Bank Stadium, or People's First Stadium, Gold Coast and Essendon. Gold Coast will win by 70 points. Hawthorn and Port Adelaide, 4:15 p.m. at Marvel Stadium. It's the Hawks will win this one by 60 points. Adelaide and St Kilda, Adelaide Oval, Saturday night, 7:35 p.m. Victorian time. If the Saints can win this one, I'll be really proud. But it's going to be a hard one. But I'm going to stick with the faith of the Saints. Go the Saints by 2 points. Sunday, Marvel Stadium, North Melbourne and Richmond, 1:10 on Sunday, Victorian time. I'll be tipping North Melbourne by 22 points. MCG on Sunday, 3:15 p.m. Victorian time. It's Melbourne hosting Brisbane. I'll be tipping Brisbane this one by 38 points. Last game on Sunday, 5:10 Victorian time. It's West Coast hosting Freo in the Derby. I'll be tipping Fremantle in this one by 17 points. I will see who can get the job done in this matchup. My final thoughts are simply this. You want me on Cameo. Head to cameo.com/Cooper G. Want me to roast a friend, which time my birthday, anything at all, cameo.com/Cooper G. The QR code is on the screen for you all to click onto Cameo's website of mine. Now, if you know any AFL, AFLW players or any state league players and you want to see them on the channel in a Goal King challenge and or interview, please do send me a message and we'll try and get something sorted. Go the Saints! Woo!